Hello everyone, my name is Vivek Srivastava. I am from ABES Engineering College, Ghaziabad. In today's lecture on database management system, I welcome you all. In this session, I will cover the basics of database system, the system architecture, and the transition from the file system. So in today's lecture, these are the topics which I will cover. So first of all, I will discuss the difference between data and information, then introduction to database management system, file system, then what are the issues related to file system, history of DBMS. These are the contents of the today's lecture. So first of all, what is data? So let's begin with an important concept, the difference between data and information. But before going in the discussion, we must know about the data. So data are the raw facts, observations, figures, and stats. We can say that, for example, the number of student in a branch, or suppose student below the age of 23, may be the data. When the data is processed and analyzed using specific procedures, it is transformed into information, which is meaningful and useful for decision making. Suppose I have a employee data. In employee data, we have employee ID, employee name, employee mobile number, employee's age, and employee salary. So with this data, we can fetch the information like what is the tax on the salary for a particular employee with the help of annual income. So with the help of data, we can fetch the process. We can fetch the information with the help of process. This is the whole procedure by which we can convert the data into information. Data need to be processed using a set of procedures to convert into information. Now, database management system. So basically, database management system is a specialized software that allows user to manage and retrieve data efficiently. Instead of storing data manually, DBMS organize it systematically, making access and update easier. So with the help of DBMS, we can retrieve or update data easily. It supports structured storage, retrieval, and maintenance of large amount of data. So this is the advantage associated with database management system. Popular DBMS softwares are Microsoft Access, MySQL, SQLite. These are the popular DBMS softwares. Now, let's discuss about the traditional file system. What was the method related to traditional file system? What is the need and what are the limitations of the file system? I will discuss each of them. So basically, a file system is a method of storing and managing files on a computer. Files are organized into directories, which can further contain folders and files. For example, some popular file system are NTFS, which is New Technology File System, EXT, Extended File System. These are some popular file system which can be used for storing the data. Now, file system versus DBMS. In file system, we have several limitations associated with file system, and because of these limitations, DBMS is more necessary for the current scenario. Because in file system, we have several issues like data redundancy and inconsistency. Means, say, same data gets stored multiple times. This is called data redundancy. Inconsistency is also a very big problem in associated with file system. Difficult data access. In file system, there is a difficult method for data accessing. Searching for specific data becomes time consuming. This is also a very big problem. Lack of security. In file system, we have limited access controls. So this is a very big concern. in order to secure our data. Limited data sharing. Multiple users cannot efficiently share data. This is also a very big problem. And no concurrent access support means only one user access a file at a time. So in today's scenario in cloud computing, if we consider the scenario of cloud computing, then this becomes very, meaningless, like concurrent access is not allowed. So this is the basic difference between file system and DBMS. Now, if I make a comparison based on the parameter, then this is the parametric comparison between file system and DBMS. We can compare DBMS and file system on various parameters. Some of the important aspects are, mentioned here, like definition, data redundancy, backup and recovery, query processing. In file system, there is no efficient query processing method, but in DBMS we have query processing method. Data consistency, there is less data consistency in file system, and there is more data consistency because of the process of normalization. In DBMS we have normalization. Later I will discuss the things like what is normalization and all the things. Complexity, it is less complex. File system is easy to manage, but DBMS is a little bit difficult or complex, but there are some advantages associated with it also. Security, if I talk about security, then in file system provide less security comparison to DBMS, and DBMS has more security mechanism as compared to file system. Cost, if I talk about cost, then file system is less expensive than DBMS because of various parameters and features, and DBMS is having higher cost than file system. So these are the basic differences between file system and DBMS. Now, let's discuss the overall database structure. So in overall database structure, we have several core components like table, rows, columns, relationship between tables, storage system, physical storage, logical structure of for data retrieval. So these are the things which I will discuss. In tables, we have rows and columns. The rows may be used for storing the data for a single user, and it is also called a tuple. And every column is considered as like a attribute, and for every tuple, there are several columns, which is also called keys, in which we can store the data. So there are some relations between these tables. We can link two tables with the help of some keys. I will later discuss the keys, various keys like primary key, foreign key, super key. A lot of keys associated with the database structure. Storage system, we have physical storage, we have logical storage system. So there are several things which will be covered in the further lectures. This is just the introduction part, so I'm not going in the deep discussion. I'm just introducing the core components of the DBMS. So this is the overall introduction of the DBMS, and based on this discussion, there are some questions which are very important in case of DBMS. So let's review some questions. Um, Very first question is, what is the difference between data and information? This is very important question. What is DBMS? What are the uses of DBMS? Comparison between file system and DBMS. So I suggest you to make a parametric comparison between file system and DBMS if someone asks about the difference between file system and DBMS. What are the issues with the file system? And what is the history of DBMS? These are some important questions which may be asked in your examination. So in this lecture, I have covered the first unit, first part, and later in second video, I will start from the some other topics, which is in continuation with this slide. For further understanding of today's topic, I recommend the following books. You can refer to Korth and Nawate. These are the most popular books in the field of DBMS, by which you can get the more precise idea about the DBMS. These are very popular books. And thank you for your attention. And I hope this session helped you understand the basic of database system and transition from the file system to DBMS. So in further lectures, I will explain more things related to the DBMS. So, thank you for watching this video.